The ultimate guide to boatless catfishing, packed with techniques, insider tricks, and real-life hacks to help you land more whisker giants. Let's start with the right gear, which is crucial to effectively landing any giant you get on the line. You want to be using a long, strong, heavy-action rod like these with a solid backbone, which is perfect for battling hefty catfish. We use a 7 and 9 foot spinning rod because it allows you to cast out farther into the deepest holes and will absorb the fight from a bigger fish. And you want to pair the rod with a high-capacity spinning reel like that, capable of spooling at least 150 to 200 yards of heavy 30-pound or higher braided fishing line. You also want to have a reel with a smooth drag system because if a big flathead or blue begins to peel line, you got to have a reel that can keep up. And as we said, we always use 50-pound braid because when you are bottom fishing for catfish, you also catch a lot of 50-pound angry snapping turtles that'll break off anything thinner like a pretzel rod. Braided line is optimal because of its strength and abrasion resistance as well as sensitivity. And this is really important, especially if you're fishing big rivers with lots of rocks and snags. And we use blood red octopus circle hooks, 5/0 for channels and 7/0 to 8/0 for flatheads and blues because the circle hook turns in the catfish's mouth when he takes the bait and runs instead of gut hooking him. Now's a great time to like this video and hit the subscribe button and enable the bell notifications so you never miss out on our next daily fishing video. Next up is finding the perfect spot to find the biggest catfish consistently. You always hear us say to fish where the fish are and think like a catfish. That's how you always give yourself the best chance at catching more fish. Locating catfish from the bank is all about being able to read the water. So here are how to find the perfect catfish hotspots. Log jams in rivers is a prime catfish ambush spot whenever you can find a lot of debris piling up along the riverbank after a big storm. Catfish love these areas for hiding out in cover, so cast your line near submerged logs or branches for the best results. And deep holes and drop-offs in any lake, pond, or river you fish is always a best bet for prime catfish habitat when you cast into a deep pool right where the current slows down. A great hack is to get a castable depth finder, and it'll help you spot these locations easily. And near dams and spillways, of course, like this, where there's lots of current bringing bait fish nearby and deeper water for the cats to hide and ambush. You can fish near creek mouths where smaller streams meet larger bodies of water, which create feeding zones full of smaller fish and insects too. And now for the fun part, all the best proven baits that'll catch catfish of all species all over the world, no matter where you fish. This is not a comprehensive list of every bait, of course, but drop us a comment if there's something you use consistently to slay cats by you every time out. First up is live bait, bluegill, shad, herring, carp, and even bullheads if using live bait is legal by you. There's nothing better, especially for flatheads and channels, than live bait hooked up front or up through the lips so it swims more naturally and lasts longer. Fresh cut bait of the same bait fish is always a prime bait for targeting big blues, too. Once the insides and blood gets into the water, it creates a scent trail that cats can sense from up to 100 yards away. And our favorite is using chicken liver or even beef or turkey liver that you can get at a butcher shop. The blood and protein and fat content and texture is irresistible to channels and bullheads. The real hack is to stuff it in a pair of pantyhose. If using nylon is legal by you, that way it stays together well and can be cast out far. And now in rapid fire, get your pen and paper. Here are a bunch more baits that are proven to catch catfish when nothing else seems to be working. Here goes. Live worms, live minnows, live or cut crawfish, shrimp, raw bacon, cheese-filled hot dogs, Spam, rotten chicken scraps, wet dog food, sardines, leeches, mussels, clams, squid, dough baits and stink baits, rotten cheese balls, marshmallows, corn soaked in garlic or anise oil, and even dead snake in some parts of the world if it's legal. Use any of these aforementioned baits, and you will catch lots of catfish. I guarantee it. Hopefully you're still with us and you've gotten a lot of great insider tips from the video thus far. Now let's cover the best strategies and techniques to catch catfish, along with a lot of great hacks, now that you know where to find bank catfish and what to feed them. You probably know that bottom fishing is always the key to catching catfish. They're bottom scavengers and opportunistic feeders. So the most optimal rig is a simple slip sinker rig using a 1 ounce or even a 2 ounce sinker to get your baits onto the river bottom or lake and pond bottom. You also want to make sure you've got a secure rod holder fastened into the ground, because the sheer strength of a big flathead or a blue can pull your rod right into the drink if it isn't secure. And you can also use a Santee Cooper rig, which is a slip sinker rig, except you add a peg float 4 to 6 inches or so up from your circle hook to keep the baits suspended just off the bottom when you've got a very rocky or tangled floor. And if you're river fishing in deeper water or in a pond near submerged vegetation, you can use a simple float rig where you attach either a fixed or a slip bobber at your desired depth. And another really great hack, if it's legal to do where you live, is to chum the water where you'll be fishing by using wet canned dog food or using the oil in a tuna fish can to draw catfish and other fish into the area very quickly. It creates an appealing scent trail that's like ringing a dinner bell to catfish to come feed if they're up in there. And they also sell pheromone-based attractant sprays you can buy at bait shops that add an extra scent boost to any of the baits or lures you might be using. They also sell garlic and blood-scented sprays and attractants that many cat anglers swear by. And if you're fishing out in a very remote spot in the middle of the woods with winding trails that you've never fished before, it's always a good idea to mark your trail with reflective tape that you lay down along the way so you can find your way back, especially if you're heading back when it's darker out. Always safety first, especially if you're out fishing alone. Okay, folks, that's it. You've waited patiently all morning, and then suddenly the rod tip jerks violently in the rod holder. You grab it, and your adrenaline is surging as you battle a humongous trophy flathead from the bank. You keep the pressure on, and you land a massive fish that glistens in the sunlight. You did it. The result of strategy, skill, and persistence. Great job, man. Tight lines, my fellow catfishing friends, and go get 'em. Okay, folks, thanks for watching. Please like this video, hit the subscribe button before you leave, and don't forget to enable your bell notifications so you never miss another great video coming your way.